Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Belmont Park here on Saturday. It's the 31st of October 2020. Gonna look at the stakes races on the program from Belmont, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me Monday, Tuesday for the rest of the world for my Melbourne Cup preview, and also next Friday and Saturday for my Breeders' Cup preview. As you can tell behind me, I've already been studying some of these races, and I can't wait to give you my thoughts on them. Hopefully, I'll get the videos out 48 hours in advance for each day. So for Friday, I'll get the video out Wednesday, and Saturday's card Thursday, maybe even earlier. We'll have to wait and see. But hopefully, we'll have some time next week. I think I will early in the week. Later in the week, not so much. But hopefully, we can get to that. But today's card from Belmont. Hopefully, some of these races stays on turf because I think it's going to be a good card. So let's get to the stakes action. We'll be looking at races 6, 8, 9. The sixth race from Belmont. It's the Zagora Stakes. Purse $80,000. Race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses heading hopefully to the Widener turf course. The distance of ground of 2,400 meters, or the distance of ground of a mile and a half on that Widener turf. 2,400 meters, a mile and a half. Rails at 0 feet in this local Long Island handicap prep race. But if it is taken off the turf, it'll be run on the main track in a mile and a quarter, so just keep that in mind. And a horse I like as a top selection on turf and on dirt also will be the winner horse, Bo Bell. We'll go 1-2-5-3 in the superfecta, 1-2-5-3 super. Top selection, one horse, Bo Bell. 5-year-old mare by Giants Causeway. Tom Albertrani trains. Luis Saez gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 10th of October, which was just 3 weeks ago here at Belmont. A mile and a quarter in the Grade 1 Flower Bowl Invitational. The horse finished 6 by 4.5 lengths there, and didn't show anything on the front end. This horse does the best running on the front end. Didn't show it that day, and just had nothing. Coming here to a very, very, and I mean, this is an understatement, a very saturated turf course. You're going to need to lead to win today, and whoever's going to win this race is going to be on the front and all throughout, and I think it's going to be her. If she sits on the front and all throughout, I think she has a clear advantage to go away. The rails have been down now not so much this meeting, so the inner portion where she's breaking from should be very good, and I think that's a good advantage for her today. 2 back in the Glens Fall at Saratoga, mile 3, it's firm ground, September the 5th. She finished 3rd by length there. She's at the pace. She got caught late by Civil Union, who went on to win the Flower Bowl, but she still ran a terrific race, I thought, on the front end. And then prior to that, in the way at Saratoga, mile and a half, August 8th, she finished 4th by 3 lengths there. And again, she was very keen that day. You know, Franco didn't want to let her go, and I think that cost her. And then her race before that here on Belmont, a mile and a half in the Widener, a very fast rated Widener turf course in the River Memory. She finished 3rd by 3.25 lengths on the front end. Manny Franco lost a whip. You know, she wasn't going to win anyway that day to add insult to injury, but she still, Manny Franco could have held on to the whip there. And then prior to that, here at Belmont, a mile and 8th and optional 6-2, she finished 4th by neck. She needed the race off the bench, but she ran this race last year at Belmont. An Aqueduct on the inner turf course, which finished 7 by 9.75 lengths, and she kind of clipped the heels, and after that from the wide poster it was all done. But if she comes here, sets the pace, like I said, I think she can go a long way. She likes a wet turf course, 4-1, let's take her, and we're going to single her in the multi-race, and her main track form, if races run on the main track, her main track form isn't half bad either, so you can definitely use her there. But to recap my selection for the 6 from Belmont's the Zagora, let's take the one horse Bo Bell. We'll go 1-2-5-3 in the superfecta, single 1 in the multi-race. The 8th race now from Belmont, it is the Awad Stakes, grade purse $80,000 race for 2-year-olds here. We have a field of 13 horses, a baker's dozen, heading to the inner turf course. The distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the mile 16th trip on that inner turf course. 1,700 meters, a mile 1/16. And like I said, 13 horses are entered, but only 12 go to this turf course. But my top selection will take the 2-horse Catman. We'll go 2-12-7-8 in the superfecta, 2-12-7-8 super. Top selection, 2-horse Catman, 2-year-old colt by Kin's Joy. Mike Maker trains. Kendra Carmouche gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came on the 3rd of October at Pimlico, mile 16th in Laurel Futurity. And the horse won by nose there. She stalked, she got the lead, and then she held on to a very nice victory. Wooden Asset was coming to her late, but this horse held on to the victory. 3. Coming here to another saturated turf course, good posture, speed from the rail, does very well on this turf course, and getting a speed rider. I think this horse go a very long way today. 2 back in Kentucky Downs, 1 mile, good ground maiden, special weight 93,000. She finished second by head there, and from wide posture, she sat back early, really closed up well late. She just missed, but I thought it was a good effort. And then prior to that, Saratoga, mile 16th, the main special weight 72,000. Finished 10th by 16, 3/4 lengths there. And first race ever, she needed the race for experience, or he needed the race for experience. It was very lackadaisical, not really concentrating on the run. But with every single race, the horse has been improving a lot. Sitting closer, speed jockey, speed course, 8-1, a very live chance. The 12 horse Wooden Acid, from a wide posture, I could see him leaving. And another horse with the class here, I think he could go a long way also. 4-1, we'll definitely use him in the multis, but to recap my selection for the 8th from Belmont, it's the Awad. Let's take the 2 horse Catman. We'll also give kudos to the 12 horse Wooden Asset. We'll go 2-12, 7-8 in the superfecta, 2-12 in the multi race. The featured 9th race now from Belmont, it is the Bold Ruler Handicap Grade 3 purse, $100,000 race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses in the Cigar Mile prep race. The distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or the distance of ground is 7 furlongs here on the main track. 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs here in the Bold Ruler. And we're just around the corner from the Cigar Mile weekend, so a lot of these races are kind of prep races for those, like the Zagora for the Long Island, the Bold Ruler for the Cigar. Next weekend you have the 10th in Nashua, which are prep races for the Demoiselle and the Remsen. So it's a good time of year for the racing really heats up in the next few weeks. But my top selection here, I'm gonna go with the 1 horse Mijos. We'll go 1, 2, 5, 6 in the superfecta, 1, 2, 5, 6 super. Top selection 1 horse Mijos. 4-year-old called by Cairo Prince. Jimmy Jerkins trains. I Rider Tease Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing, first off the bench, came 25th of September at Belmont. 7 furlongs, optional 80, and the horse finished 3rd by 2 lengths there, and was very wide, and he just never quickened up. Maybe he needed the race, but with a step down class, he should have ran a lot better. Coming here, training a little bit better than going into the last run. I'm going to give him a shot. He does his best running at 7. When they tried routing him in the past, he hasn't really been showing up. 2 back at Saratoga, 6.5, and optional 80. He finished 4th by 8.5 lengths there, and he was very wide. And again, he just never really got into it. And then the Westchester, he's not a router. He finished 6th by 13, 3/4 lengths. Just never really showed up. But the race before that, Gulfstream, 7 furlongs and op 6-2. He won by 3 1/4 lengths there, and he just kept going on the front end. That was a very good race, earning a 94 buyer. And then prior to that, 6 furlongs in as my cats are fighting outside the door, 6 furlongs and op 6-2. He finished 3rd by 2 3/4 lengths there. He was stupidly wide that day, but he was closing up well late. If the race was just a little bit longer, he would have made it a little bit interesting. But cutting back to a sprinting trip with some pace in this one, I think at 4-1 he could get a good trip. Like I said, his workup patterns most recently haven't been half bad. So to recap my selection for the 9th from Belmont, it's the Grade 3 Bold Ruler Handicap. Let's take the 1 horse Mijos. We'll go 1, 2, 5, 6 in the superfecta. So good luck to him. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.